Hello everyone and welcome back to our YouTube channel. I hope you are doing well. So in this Salesforce flow series, today we are going to learn about how we can create n number of records using the screen flow in Salesforce. So earlier we have seen how we can create the related records of any parent object in the Salesforce using the screen flow. Now I will show you how we can create n number of records. That means there we will provide the number and according to the provided number, the record will be get created. Now for that, let's understand this scenario, and according to that scenario we will be create the flow. So here we will create screen flow to create n number of contact and opportunity records based on the user's choice. And the contact or opportunity that we are going to create, they will be related to contact object. Now let's understand this scenario on the Salesforce org. So let me navigate to the Salesforce org. And now here you can see, now we are on the TNR Corporation account record. Now whatever the record we will create here, it will get automatically related to this TNR Corporation account. So let me create any record. For that, in the select object, first I will select contact. How many records? And before that, here you can see, we only have 3 related contacts which related to TNR Corporation account. So how many number of records we want to create? So I want to, so that after creating these contacts, there will be the 5 number of records of contact object. So here I am clicking on next. First name Joy, Lobo, next Lex, Anderson, last name Anderson, click on next, and now 2 records get created. Again it asking for the select the object. That means the loop get ended and again the first screen get displayed. Now scroll down. Now here we have 5 contact record. The Alex Anderson that we created and then Joy Lobo. And this contacts is related with TNR Corporation because this contacts we created on the TNR Corporation account record page. So as I shown, according to that I will create the flow and then I will show you how we can add that created screen flow on the record detail page. So for that, watch this video till the end and don't miss any step. And if you are new to our channel, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon. So whenever we post any new video, you will get an update. Now, before moving ahead, here is very big announcement for the Salesforce Geekers. We are going to conduct Salesforce Agentforce live webinar on the 17th of September. So in this live webinar, we are going to learn about introduction to the Salesforce Agentforce. Then I will be explain the features of Agentforce. Then we will understand what are the different types of agent. Then what are the building blocks to create the Agentforce. After that, I will be explain how we can activate the Salesforce agent. And then also I will be explain how we can create the service agent and deploy it. So don't miss this opportunity to understand the Salesforce Agentforce. For that, register now and be ready to take your skills to the next level. The register link of this live webinar I will be provided in the description box. So check the description box and register now. Now moving towards our topic. So this is Salesforce homepage. To navigate the screen flow, now in the quick find box, search for the flows. Here you can see under the process automation, we have flows. Click on it. Then as we are going to create new flow, for that click on new flow button. Now here we need to select start from scratch and then click on next. Now we are going to create screen flow. For that select this and then click on create. Now for this use case, we need to create this screen flow in the freeform layout. So let me select freeform layout. Here I am changing from auto layout to freeform. So why we selected this freeform, you will understand later. So first we need to add screen component. For that here you can see under the toolbox elements, we have interaction screen. Drag this and drop to the flow canva. Now first provide the label. So here I am entering object selection. As you click on API name, it will be automatically populate. Now in this screen, we need to add checkbox or pick list values. So here I am adding pick list values so that we can add multiple values in it. Currently, we only want to add contacts and opportunities. So for in the components, search for the pick list values. In the component, search for the pick list. Here you can see, here we have pick list field. Drag this and drop to the screen component. Now add the label. So here I am entering select object, API name will be automatically populated. And now here we need to make this field require. And now for this pick list field, we need to create choices. Earlier we used to create pick list choice set because at that time we wanted to fetch the values from the object pick list values. So now here we will create user defined choices. For that, scroll down and here you can see here we have choice. Click on this and then click on new choice resource. In the resource type, instead of pick list choice set, we need to select choice. Enter the API name. So here I am entering contact. Now in the choice label also, here I am entering contact as well because the choice label will be available on the screen UI. Contact. Scroll down and then here you can see here we have data type as a text and choice value will be contact only. And then click on done. Now we need to add another variable. Now we need to create another choice for the opportunities. For that, click on add choice. Again click on choice and then click on new choice resource. In the resource type, select choice. API name will be opportunity. Again in the choice label, enter the opportunity and in the choice value again opportunity. And then click on done. Now we have two choices, contacts and opportunity. And now we need to add number component so that when the user will provide the number in that component, they will can create number of record as they provided. So here in the components, search for the number. Drag this and drop to the screen component. In the label, here I am providing how many number of record you want to create. So here you can change API name. So here I am entering only number of records. Then this field also we need to make require and then click on done. Now in this screen what will happen? Let me open this. So first user will select object, either contact or opportunities, and after that they need to provide number, how many records they want to create, and after that they will proceed. So let me configure the footer. So instead of finish label, I will customize this label. For that, click on configure footer, scroll down. Here you can see here we have next or finish button. To change the label, here you can see here we have use a custom label. Here I am clicking on that and here I am entering proceed or next and then click on done. Now here you can see instead of finish, here we have next label. Now we need to connect this screen to the start element. So here I am connecting this. So now here we need to add condition whether user select contact or opportunity. And to add the condition, we know that which element we need to use. So here I am going to use add decision element. In the label, here I am entering check user selection. The API name will be automatically populated. And now in the outcome order, here you can see here we have new outcome. In the new outcome label, here I am providing contact. The API name will be automatically populated. But here this API name is already used in another element or resource. So for that I need to change this API name or label. So here I am changing to contact is selected. You can customize the label as per your requirement. And now here we need to add logic. For that, scroll down. Now how we can check that? We can fetch the value from the screen component and the selected value we can match with choices. So in the resource here I am selecting object selection and in that we have two components. So here we need to select object. Now we got the pick list field from the screen component equals and in the value we can select choices which is contact. Now we need to add another outcome for the opportunities. For that, here you can see, here we have plus icon, which is new outcome. Then for the new outcome, here I am entering opportunity is selected. API will be automatically populated. Again scroll down. Again we need to select screen component. Select object equals to, in the choice, opportunity. Then we can change the label for the default outcome. For that, click on that. And here I am changing the label no selection. And then click on done. Now here you can see, here we have user selection decision element. So let's connect this with the screen. Now before adding the screen based on the decision element, first we need to create variable which is counter variable. So to create the variable, here you can see, here we have manager tab, click on it. Then in the new resource, click on it. And the resource type will be variable. So in the API name, here I am entering counter. So why we are creating this counter variable, you will understand will be later. In the data type will be number. So here I am removing the decimal places. And in the default value, here I am entering 1. And then click on done. Now we need to add one more decision element to check the counter. So for that, again in the elements, drag the decision element and drop to the screen canvas. In the label, here I am entering check counter. API name will be automatically populated. So in the label, here I am entering counter is less than required record. API name will be automatically populated. Then scroll down. And now in the resource, we need to select the variable that we created, which is counter. In the operator, we need to select less than or equal to. So here we have less than or equal, select this. And in the value, we need to select how many records user want to create. And this value we can take from the screen component. So here you can see in the screen component, how many number of records you want to create. So what does it mean? If the counter is less than or equal to the number of records we want to create, that means the iteration will continue. Now click on done. And let's connect this decision element with the user selection. And now here you can see, here we can select 3 choices, which is contact is selected, then opportunity is selected, and third one is for no selection. So first we want to this decision element for the contact creation. So here I am selecting contact is created and then click on done. Now we need to add screen element where user can provide screen object information. So here I am adding this screen element. In the label, here I am entering contact information. API name will be automatically populated. And now here we need to provide components where the screen object requires or which user want to provide. So first, here I am entering text, which is for the first name. In the label, here I am entering first name. API name will be automatically populated. Again text for the last name. And ensure that whatever the fields are required from the contact object, those fields we need to add in the screen component. So for the contact object, the last name is required. For that, here I added that last name. And now whatever the fields you want to add, you can add it. So currently here I am adding only these 2 fields and then click on done. And now add this screen component to the decision element. And now select outcome for the decision connector. We need to select counter is less than required record and then click on done. Now whatever the information user will provide, we need to store that information in the variable. Because if you directly add create record element, and in the how many records you want to create, if you provide the 1000 records, then the governor limit will hit and the flow will show an error. So first we need to create variable where we can store the information that user is providing. So to create the variable, click on manager, again click on new resource. In the resource type, variable. So here I am entering contact records. The data type will be records because we are going to store records. The object will be contacts because we are going to create records for the contacts. So what will happen here? When the user will provide contact information, that information will be get stored in this contact record. Instead of storing directly to the Salesforce database or contact database, it will store over this variable and then click on done. And the variable that we created, that will store only one record. That means when the provide input for the one object, that one record will be get stored into the contact records variable that we created. Now we need to create another variable. So let me create the variable. Click on new resource. Select the resource type as a variable. Here I am entering API name contact list. Select the data type as a record. In the object, again contacts. And now this time we are going to select this allow multiple values. That means we are going to create collection variable. So here I am checking this and then click on done. Now the second collection variable that we created is used to store all the records that we stored in this single contact records. Now let's add the assignment element, and using that assignment element we will take the value from the screen component and add to the variable that we created to store single contact record. Click on elements, drag the assignment element and drop to the Canva. And in the label here I am entering assign contact info. The API name will be automatically populate as you click on it. And now set variable values, we will assign the values that we are getting from the screen component, and that values we will assign to the record contact record variable. So in the variable here you can see we created record variable. First we created the record variable which is the single contact record, and then we created the record collection which is the contact list. Now first we will assign the values that we are getting from the screen component. That values we will assign to this contact record variable. So here I am clicking on this, and as you click on this, here you will see all the fields from the contact object. Because in the data type of this variable we selected as a record, and then in the object we selected contact. For that this variable can fetch the all fields from the contact object. So here I am selecting first name. We can search for the field. So here you can see in the record fields we have first name equals to, in the value we need to select contact information which is the screen component. Select this and then click on first name. Again add another field. Here we need to select contact records and then last name equals, again screen component of contact information and then last name. Now as we need to create this contact or opportunities related to an account, for that we need to add another assignment. So here I am adding add assignment, again contact record, and here we need to select the relationship field which is the account ID. This account ID is a lookup field from the contact object which relate the parent account record. So here I am selecting this account ID equals, and in the value we don't have field on the screen component, and also we are not taking account ID from the screen component. Now where we can get this account ID? So for that here we will create new resource. So here I am clicking on new resource. Resource type will be variable. API name, here I am entering record ID, and make sure the variable that you are creating, you need to enter API name exactly like this, because this record ID is used to take the ID from the outside of the flow. That means the account that we created in this account, that means the account that we created in the account object, from that object this record ID variable will be take ID from that account record and pass over the flow. Now in the data type we need to select text. Availability outside the flow, here we need to select available for input and then click on done. Now we assign all the fields and then click on done. Now connect this assignment to the screen, and now we can assign the contact record that we get from the screen component. That record we can assign to contact list which is the collection variable. So here I am again going to add assignment element, In the label, here I am adding assign contact records to list. In the variable, we create the record collection variable, which is the contact list. Now this time in the operator, we need to select add. And in the value, we need to select the variable where we stored the contact record. So here we stored in the contact records. Remove the full stop and then click here. Now here one more thing we need to do. We need to increase the counter variable. So here again add assignment. In the variables we have counter, select this. In the operator select add and in the value enter 1. Again click on this outside box and now click on done. So firstly I mistaken connect this assignment to the screen instead of that. So let me delete this. Instead of that we need to connect from screen to assignment and then we need to add this assignment to the second one. Let me adjust this. And now here I am going to attach this assignment with the decision element. And now we need to create contact records using this collection variable where we stored all the contacts that we created. So here I am going to add create record element. In the label, here I am entering create contact records. The API name will be automatically populated. And now scroll down. Here you can see how many records to create. Here we need to select multiple. And then in the record collection, we need to select contact list. So as we select the contact list collection variable in the create record, that means the record we have in the contact list that will be automatically get created. And then click on done. And here I am connecting this decision with the create records. Now let me explain this flow. In the first screen, we provided the choices. First one is a contact and another one is opportunity. After that, we added the number field where user can provide the value, how many number of records they want to create. And then we added the decision element. Here you can see in this decision element, we checked if the user is selected contact, then this flow will execute. After this decision element, the another decision element will execute. Now here we created one variable which is counter and the default value of that counter variable was 1. Now this decision element is checking the counter value is less than in the how many records they want to create. If the value is less, then the screen component will execute. In that user will provide the contact information. That contact information will get assigned to the contact record, the single record variable that we created. Then that single record will get assigned to the record list, which is the collection variable. Now when the single record is get to assign in the record list, the counter variable is increasing. That means in the first iteration it was 1. Now here the counter variable value is 2. Again it will go to the decision element. Here again the counter variable is checking. That means if the counter variable is less than equal to the number of record user want to create, like this the loop will iterate. For example, user enter 5 times, this loop will iterate, and in this assignment element the counter will be 5, and when the decision element will execute, at this time the condition will get fail, and after that the create record element will get execute. So in this way the contact record will be get create. Now we need to create record for the opportunity record. Let's create the decision element for the opportunity. So here I am adding decision element. Again here we need to enter check counter. API name will be automatically populate. So this API name we already used. So here I am entering 1. In the label, here I am entering counter is less than number of records. Then in the resource, add the counter variable. So here we have counter. In the operator, less than or equal to. and in the value from the object selection how many records user want to create, and then simply click on done. Connect this decision element with the decision element where we are checking counter variable, and here you can see in the outcome opportunity is selected. Click on done. And now we need to add screen component. So here I am adding screen component. In the label here I am entering creating opportunity records. A pane will be automatically populate. Now in this screen we need to add fields. For that, in the components, search for the opportunity name. For that, here I am entering text component. Drag this and drop to the screen. In the label here I am entering opportunity name. Again we need to add close date. For that, search for the date component. In the label here I am entering close date. Again in the component we need to search for the pick list, which is for the stage name. Drag this and drop to the screen component. In the label here I am adding stage name, and here we are using stage name. For that, we need to fetch the pick list value from the stage name of the opportunity object. For that, here you can see in the choice, select the new choice resource. In the resource type, in this time we need to select pick list choice set. API name will be stage name. In the object, as we are fetching values from the opportunity object, so here we need to search opportunity. In the data type will be pick list, and in the field we need to select stage name because we want to fetch values for the stages, and then click on done. Now here we added the fields which are required on the opportunity object. You can add more fields or different fields as per your requirement, and then click on done. Now let's connect decision to the screen, and here you can see counter is less than number of records. Click on done. Again we need to create two variables. First one is for store the one records, and another is for to store the list of records. So here I am clicking on manager, new resource. In the resource type variable, API name opportunity record, data type will be record. In the object we need to search for opportunity, and then click on done. Again new resource, resource type variable, API name will be opportunity list. In the data type again record. In the object opportunity, and then here we need to allow multiple values because we are creating the collection variable, and then click on done. Now we need to add assignment element. For the, click on element, drag this and drop to the screen canvas. So here I am entering assign opportunity, API name will be automatically populate. Now we need to assign values whatever we are getting from the screen component to the single variable that we created, which is opportunity record. So in the variable here I am selecting opportunity record, then opportunity name, which is the field of opportunity, equals value from the creating opportunity record, and then opportunity name. Again add assignment. Again from the opportunity record, select the close date, equals value from the creating opportunity record, and screen component, which is close date. Again add assignment, stage name or stages, equals the value from the screen component, which is creating opportunity, and then stage name. Now again we need to add assignment because we want to relate this opportunity with the account. For that, again in the variable we need to select opportunity record, account ID, which is the relationship field or lookup field, equals, and again in the value we need to select record ID. Then click on done. Now connect this screen with the assignment. Again we need to create another assignment element. For that, drag this. Here I am entering the name, assign opportunity records list. Now in the variable we need to select opportunity list. In the operator we need to select add, and then in the value we need to select opportunity record, and then click on the outside the text box. Now again we need to add assignment to increase the counter. So again in the variable we need to select counter, in the operator add, and then in the value 1. That means whenever the single records it's get add to the opportunity list, the counter will increase with 1 number, and then click on done. Connect this assignment to the another one. And now we need to add this assignment element with the decision element. And after that we need to add create record element. For that, add create records. In the label here I am entering create opportunities. How many records to create? Multiple. And in the record collection we need to select opportunity list, and then click on done. Now connect this decision with create records. Now for the opportunity flow is also same for the contact. So when user will select contact as a choice and he want to create 3 records, after that the decision element will check. If the opportunity is selected, it will transfer and this decision element will get execute. After that it will check the counter. The initially counter is 1. That means user wants to create 3 record. 1 is less than 3. Then the screen element will get execute. After providing the user input, the 1 record will get assigned. After that this record will get assigned to the opportunity list, and that time the counter also get increased. When the loop will get execute, the create record, which is create opportunity element, will get execute. So now let's save this flow. For that, click on save button. Here I am entering label create multiple records. Flow API name will be automatically populate, and then click on save. Now let's debug the flow. For that, click on debug. Now here you can see we need to provide record ID. This record ID is a variable that we created. To get the record ID, let's navigate to the account record. So in the app launcher, search for the account. I am opening the account object and then open any record. So here I am opening this Dell Corporation. After that, we need to get record ID from the URL. So click on the URL, and here you can see here we have record ID of this particular record. Copy this, again navigate to the flow builder and paste the record ID that we copied. Click on run. And now here we need to create multiple records. So first we need to select on which object we want to create record. Here I am clicking on select object. Then here I am clicking on contact. How many records you want to create? So I want to create 2 records, and then click on next. After that, let's provide the first name. So here I am providing test screen flow. One, click on next, and another one, test screen flow 2, and then click on Next. All done. Now let's navigate to the account record to check whether the contact gets created or not. So let me refresh this page. And here you can see we have opened the Dell Corporation account. In the related tab, in the contact object, here you can see test screen flow 1 and then test screen flow 2. Now let's add this screen flow on the account record page. For that let's open the flow. Now to add this screen flow on the record page, first we need to activate this. So here I am clicking on activate. The flow successfully get activated. Now let's navigate to the account record page. So here I am opening the account record page. So first let me show you where we need to add screen flow. Click on account. Then open any record. So here I am opening this TNR Corporation. So now we are on the account record page. Now click on the gear icon. Click on edit page. So here I have already added one flow. Let me delete this. Then in the component, search for the flow. Because we are going to add the screen flow on this account record page. Drag this flow element and drop to the account record page. Now in the flow, here you can see, here we need to select the flow that we created. So here we created create multiple records. For that, search for the flow name. Here you can see create multiple records. Select this. Then scroll down. And here you can see now here we have record ID. This is the record ID variable that we created in the flow. So here we need to check this checkbox. Pass record ID into this variable. Now what is it means? So whenever you open any account record, at that time, if you check this checkbox, then the ID of that record will get automatically assigned to record ID variable. And after that, whatever the contact or opportunity record you will create, that will automatically get related to open account record. So now let me save this. Again navigate to the account record page. And now here you can see, now we are on the TNR Corporation account record. Now whatever the record we will create here, it will get automatically related to this TNR Corporation account. So let me create any record. For that, in the select object, first I will select contact. How many records? And before that, here you can see, we only have 3 related contacts which related to TNR Corporation account. So how many number of records we want to create? So I want 2. So that after creating these contacts, there will be the 5 number of records of contact object. So here I am clicking on next. First name Joy, Lobo, next Lex, Anderson, last name Anderson. Click on next. And now 2 records get created. Again it asking for the select the object. That means the loop get ended and again the first screen get displayed. Now scroll down. Now here we have 5 contact record. The Alex Anderson that we created and then Joy Lobo. And this contacts is related with TNR Corporation. Because this contacts we created on the TNR Corporation account record page. Now let me open any another account. So here I am opening TS Info Technologies India. At this time, here you can see, here we have 0 opportunities. Now in the select object, here I am selecting opportunities. How many records we want to create? 3. Click on next. Enter the opportunity name. Here I am entering summer 2025. Close date will be this. Stage name is prospecting. Then click on next. Again we need to add another opportunity. Again here I am adding May 15, close date 20, stage name qualification, next, opportunity name summer 20 close date, and again stage name closed one, and then click on next. Now here you can see again select object screen has been displayed, and with that here you can see 3 opportunities also gets created. I hope whatever I have explained you have understood that. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe our channel and press the bell icon, so whenever you post any new video you will get an update. Thank you.